Good day to you, Guyana, and welcome to Facing the Nation. It is the final Friday in the month of August, which means this is our final program for the month of August. I know you've been seeing on the screen scrolling for a while that Facing the Nation will begin shortly. So first off, let me apologize for our late start. That means we're going to have a small program today, a shorter program than usual, but you shouldn't worry about that because you know they always say that good things come in small packages. So we have a good one for you in the few minutes that we have. But I know some of you would have also been viewing the funeral of the late great Aretha Franklin, and she's not only an icon for America, but she's an icon for the entire world. So you didn't lose too much today. Nevertheless, we're still here with you on Facing the Nation. So once again, thanks for having us in your homes. Today's program, I have another queen, a local queen on our program today. She has been recently elevated to even more further greatness because I always look at her as one of our local icons and a great woman. And I've even said, she's probably going to hear this for the first time from me, but I've even said this before. I think one of the reasons I like her so much is because she reminds me so much of my own mother. So she is an icon to me, and I really look up to her, and she's a wonderful woman and an icon to so many of you here locally. And it is my pleasure to, for the first time publicly, congratulate the Honorable Volda Lawrence, who is also the Minister of Public Health, to congratulate her on being elected as a chairman, well, not chairman, I'm going to say chairwoman of the People's National Congress Reform. I think she is second only to Winifred Gaskin years ago. She'll correct me if I'm wrong about that. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome her back to Facing the Nation. Welcome and congratulations, Madam Lawrence.
Thank you, Malika, and thank you for those very kind words, very touching. Very touching.
All right. Well, you know, it's always a pleasure. And viewers, I can tell you her personality is just out there, and she's saying that those were touching, but she's very touching to all of us. You have been admired so much, Minister Lawrence, and viewers, we're starting off by talking about what's happening with Minister Lawrence in terms of being chairwoman of the People's National Congress Reform. You have been talked about so much and you have campaigned a lot, but it's interesting because you did not run a campaign that was aggressive to the point of being offensive, and because sometimes aggression can, you know, offend people, and you've run somewhat of a quiet campaign, but you still ended up being the winner of it all. And viewers, I'm still celebrating because again, this is woman power too. What does it mean to you to be the second person in terms of a female to achieve this great height in this wonderful party we call the People's National Congress Reform?
The only word to describe how I feel is humble.
Okay.
I just feel very humble that a little girl from South Georgetown who have grown up in what people will term, you know, the lower side of society, come from very humble but proud family beginnings. And here I am as the chairperson of one of the greatest and most powerful parties in this region, the People's National Congress Reform. Malika, I can only place everything that I have accomplished at the feet of Jesus Christ, my Savior. And so I take it with, let us say I'm eating humble pie.
Okay.
I think this more than anything has brought me to a very stark realization that people are looking at me. And I have to try even a little harder to ensure that my footprints are one which persons, especially young women, can look at and pattern their own life after. Secondly, I feel so gratified for women in this country. Women, wherever they are, whoever they are. I just want them to know that whatever you set your mind to do, whatever, there is nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a saying that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world.
Yes.
And I would really, really like to be that example for women so that they can understand that irrespective of what people may say about you, irrespective of where you come from or what you have, it's not what you have outwardly, it's what you have within. And I know that if you do it trusting God, whomever you perceive God to be, that you can do more than you can think or dream of. And so I trust that this would be another shaking ground for women in Guyana. We don't have to say yes when we don't want to.
Yes, and indeed,
You know.
indeed, exactly. I like that. Apart from the women, Minister Lawrence, I know you have, and viewers, I can tell you, this is not only because she was running for higher office within the People's National Congress Reform, but apart from the women, you have always embraced youths, and I know the youths came out in their numbers and they rally around you. What can they expect from Volda Lawrence, who is now sitting in the leadership position that most of us wanted her to be sitting in?
Okay, I want them to, first let me say, I just love children. I love the youths. I love them. And I want them to know that they can approach me anytime. I'm approachable. I want them to know that they will have my ear.
Okay.
And that I will not make decisions without us having a conversation. I want to hear from them so that their thoughts, their vision, their experiences can inform whatever decisions I have to make pertaining to their well-being and their future.
Okay.
I also, upon setting up my office, will immediately move to put out there my scholarship program, as I said, for youths, so that I can be able to embrace and to support many of our youths out there who would like to have an opportunity to go to the University of Guyana. And I want to be able to be a part of so many other persons, so many other companies and so on, who are making that happen for them. And that's one of the things I would like to see doing. I would also like to work with youths and other persons to ensure that we can give those youths who didn't do so well at CXC a chance. And we know that maths and English is a big issue. And so I want to work with a group of persons to see how we can extend that help to them where it's free of cost. But of course, we will set some parameters in which you have to work with, because we want you to be serious about this.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I want to be able to do that. And there's so many other things, but Malika, I am not going to bite off more than I can chew.
Good.
So I'm looking at 4 things that I will be doing as the chair of this great party. But most of all, I want to encourage everyone out there, come join our party. Come and be a part of. Come and help me to help others. We all can do it. We can do it together. And you know the saying says, many hands make light work. So please come on board. We have to stop sitting on the fences. We have to stop talking down about all the negative things. I want a set of positive energy around me. I want people to be positive, even if it's a half of a step we make. I want us all as Guyanese to start embracing positiveness. There's so many negativity around, you know, and the person seems to be in
Angry
this
and
yes,
bitter.
so
Uh-huh.
bitter. Hello, that is going to interfere with your health.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to interfere with your relationships and so many other things. So let's set that aside. Let us look at what can we do with what we have.
Minister Lawrence, I'm happy that you extended that public invitation to members to come and join because, and again, this is a tad bit of a sour note for people who out there may be deterred because we have been, the PNC, we have been talking about promoting youth, and I know the youth continue to rally around you, and some of them may, for example, I'm going to use the CEC executive. Some may want to look at it and say, okay, all right, we don't see enough young people that we can possibly identify with. Why should that not, or why should they not allow that to daunt their spirit, to in a sense detract them, for want of a better word, from joining the PNC?
Well, the first thing I will say that if someone said that to me, that I will say, then you really need to come join our party.
Okay.
Because then you don't understand the structure of our party. Our party do have a youth arm that is run by youths, and you can be in that arm until you're 35 years old,
Yeah.
which gives you the opportunity. So many opportunities it gives you. It gives you that opportunity to sit at that very table. And it also gives you the opportunity to grow, to learn,
Yeah.
to have the experiences and so on. So then you become a leader. I didn't just fly up to the top. I start from the bottom at the PCU unit. I start in my group, then I went to my neighborhood, then I went to my district. Before I was elevated to CC. So it doesn't just happen. And I'm quite certain that the crafters of our structure and our constitution, that they thought about all of these things, that if you grow in the party, then when you become a leader, you are rooted and grounded. And that is what I want to see when I'm sitting in my rocking chair. I want to say, that president, I know him from a very, very tender age. So the opportunities are there.
Okay.
And so I am encouraging youths to come forward. You have bright ideas. Let us get the youth arm up and running in a more robust way. Come, bring your ideas, bring your experiences. And we, the older ones, we like the challenge. So come, let us have those discourse. Come, let us have those debates on issues, because that is what is going to help to inform policies that will be made.
Okay, Minister, with a few minutes, we still have a good amount of minutes, so I think God has slowed down time for us to get some more, to squeeze some more out of the Minister. One of the things you talked about on the campaign trail, of course on the internal campaign trail, is, and this is again staying on youth, is a program to have youths understudy our leaders, because and viewers, I think I'd like to take this opportunity to make it clear, because sometimes when young people out there, I know in certain parts of the world people my age are not necessarily considered young people, but when young people talk about, especially in our party, when they talk about, there's really a need to, sometimes they come up a bit harsh and say, okay, sometimes the older folks need to step aside. It's not a case where, I know Minister's already talking about her rocking chair, it's not a case where the young people expect the older folks, or let me say our leaders, to sit in a rocking chair at home. They have to be the guide, they have to share their wisdom with us. So, Minister, in saying all of that, is it going to be a difficult task to actually have the younger people in the party understudying those persons in leadership roles, so that they would be more experienced when they actually have to take those positions?
And that's what I'm talking about, Malika, internships.
Okay.
And I don't see it as an issue. I believe that there are so many other persons in the party and out of the party who would like to see that happening. It used to happen before. It's not something new. It's just that we need to reignite it. We need to get it back on track and ensure that our young people understand the role of internship. Internship does not mean you start from the top down. You have to start from the bottom up. All right? But the whole idea is for us to ensure that there's continuity as we move on.
Yeah.
And I want to say this, Malika, and you could go back and tell your colleagues that we the much matured ones, we're looking forward for those debates and those interactions with you guys. Yes, bring it on.
Okay, good, great. All right, Minister, we're in the season. I told people that it's out of one elections into another and then into another. We're basically into the local government elections period. I can't possibly have you on this program and not have you talk about your role in that. In terms of, again, to viewers, we can't talk to the minister about her role as Minister of Public Health today because of the time, but I'd like you to talk a bit about local government elections, your role, preparations, and so on, the PNC's role, and what really are you, not only as a woman, but as a citizen, expecting from citizens in terms of their participation in local government elections.
Thank you, Malika. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. The first thing I want to say to our citizens, learn what local government is all about. Because it is such an important aspect of governance that we fought for it. Your president, my president, picking it every Tuesday to ensure that local government gets back on stream. And as soon as he took office, Malika, he ensured that we passed the other two bills that were in the National Assembly so that we can get local government up and running. Local government is about you and me. It's about our neighborhood. It's about our community. And you know what? It gives us the opportunity to take charge at that local level. To take charge at that local level. It means then that we're representing our community. We know every street. We know every house. We know every alleyway. We know which roads needs to be repaired. We know what is needed in the schools. We know what type of services we need to have provided to our citizens there. We know whether we need a health center as opposed to having a library. We know that, and so we can make those input once we get involved in local government elections. And I trust that persons will stop listening to all the naysayers and understand that they're not about progress, but you are about progress, and that you will get involved. My involvement as the chair of the Georgetown district of the PNCR, I am coordinating the Georgetown aspect of local government elections. And let me say this to you out there, you would be surprised at how many young persons are coming forward to be involved because they have been reading, they have been listening, and they have been educating themselves. And so they know the power of local government elections. And so I call on all of you citizens to read for yourself, ask questions. You can drop into the district office. We are at EHAF Working Russ on Durban Street, right next door to Car Care, opposite Jack's. And you can come and we will be able to help you in any way that we can. Secondly, there are persons coming around. Some of them are saying that they're from the APNU, but they're not. So be very careful. Be very careful too that you do not let people into your houses, because we know that people with ill will take this opportunity to do what is not right. So I want to warn you against that. But please look out for our people. They're out there. They're checking to ensure that your names are on the list and that you will know where you are voting very soon and that you're au fait with what you have to do. And many of them, they're coming to you because they're from your neighborhood. They're from your constituency, and they would like to have your support so that they can represent both you and themselves. So give them that opportunity. I'm so happy. I'm excited at what I see happening on the ground with so many young people coming forward. So I'm quite certain that when you go out there and you vote solidly for APNU and those candidates running on the APNU, we're going to see a dynamic shift in the construct of the councillors at City Council.
Minister, just in 1 minute, and I know viewers and the minister has already established she likes to stay away from the negatives, and really it's a good thing, but just in about a minute, just remind viewers, because I know there's some people still confused, even though we had the Minister of Communities, the Honorable Ronald Wilkin, was here last week and he spoke about some of it, but just remind people why they should not be afraid that the APNU and the AFC are not one for local government elections. Just remind them why they should not be worried about that.
This is democracy.
Great.
This is what we fought for. Democracy, to have a voice, to be independent. And so if the AFC, our brothers and sisters, feel that, we want to go out there and try for ourselves, fine. Nothing is wrong with that. But I'm saying to you, I am from the PNC, which is a large part of the APNU. So give us your vote.
All right. Great. Perfectly said. Minister, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. Viewers, she's extremely busy. She's usually very, very busy. She has a lot going on dealing with campaigning, the Ministry of Public Health. That's a very large ministry. So we're going to have to take another day to talk about some of those things, but I can't tell you just yet. I'll have to check with the minister. Minister, once again, congratulations. And thank you so much for being on Facing the Nation today.
Thank you, Malika. Keep looking beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Viewers, what we'll do, we'll take a quick break. On the other side of the break, it will be time to wrap up today's program. Stay tuned.